as therapeutics, so for us, we would have to teach the difference between a water-soluble, fat-soluble vitamin. You can overdo certain vitamins and become toxic. And you know, there's a mentality if some's good, more's better. And there's a lot of controversial and untested products out there that people are saying, you know, does certain things. So, and they're not tested. They're oftentimes therapeutics are used for horses that are 1,000 pounds and not 100 or 150 pounds. And so, since I'm a horse owner, I'm always trying to make sure my horses are dewormed. But so these are the things that we have to be careful with, because we have to understand what is, you know, kids are not going to know whether or not this vitamin or that vitamin is water, fat soluble. They're just going to say, oh, if this, you know, helps me, give me more. And that's the general mentality sometimes of our public. We're only able to educate to the point that they're willing to receive the education. And it's oftentimes the easiest route. I consider myself a quality of life advocate. That's how I've labeled myself for 30 years or more, and have worked hard to get people to exercise as a way to be healthier, both from cradle to grave. My clients have been anywhere from really kindergarten to, I have an 88-year-old client right now, about ready to turn 89. I believe that everybody has that ability to improve their health through that type of an activity. But to get people to understand that and actually do it, it's difficult. It's just difficult. You know, there's a lot of excuses out there why they won't do it. But you know, it's consistent education to making sure that people get moving. It's a consistent education as to why you know, we would want to take a supplement to because we don't usually eat a great diet, so sometimes that's an opportunity for people to supplement what they aren't doing in their great diet or their not good diets. But we have to also understand that, you know, saying this doesn't make, and doing this, actually participating in a full healthy lifestyle since I was little, doesn't mean that I get to be free of the statistics of having Crohn's disease, right? I'm just an unlucky number. I've been in the unlucky statistics before, 5% twice. So I understand what it's like to do everything I can do to be healthy and then not be healthy, because I have a body that kind of doesn't want to cooperate, right? And I do all this. I research and study. But to get other people to be that motivated is a big job. It's a slippery slope, because the amount of things that people see on the internet, we right now are not having a pandemic of, you know, unvaccinated. We're having a pandemic of disinformation. And it's very important to check our sources, make sure what information is correct and accurate. What, you know, so good luck. I've been doing it for years and years and years, and trying to get out the correct information. And people will see something over here and they're like, oh, this is what I need to do, instead of maybe getting a vaccination. You know, I'm going to try all these other things over here. Somehow that seems better. You know, that kind of stuff just kind of floors me when I work so hard daily to be healthy. So gosh, Doug, I would love for people to be healthier and to people to want to be healthier. The hard part is getting people to want to do the hard work of being healthier. providing those things for them is one thing. Teaching them to be responsible with those things is another. How do we determine which therapeutics are the ones that we should be providing? Most of them are not even FDA approved. If we're a government organization, we have to comply with government regulations. Thank God my husband is doing that today as he operates on several people. Thank goodness he has government regulations and how he makes sure that his tools of his trade to get inside of a person's eye. And thank goodness we have government coming in and checking and making sure that our sterilization for those products is correct. And I can guarantee you, if the government came in and my husband was operating without a mask, every lawyer in the state of Indiana would be crawling up his you-know-what. So I'm telling you right now, we are a government organization, we have government regulations, we need to go with things that are proven over time to be safe and secure for others. This is not about a me generation right here that is happening. This is about a we. When I wear my mask, this is not necessarily about me. I'm vaccinated and have the booster. I'm not so worried about me. You know who I'm worried about? I am worried about Brielle. She's my 17-month-old granddaughter who can't be vaccinated, and her mama is a doctor who has to come home and decontaminate every single day because of the number of people she sees in a business day. And my daughter's best friend's child, who's 4 months younger, ended up in Riley Hospital because of an exposure of COVID at daycare. These things happen. These babies can't be vaccinated. I'm not going to go out and be exposed to a bunch of people and then go and play with Brielle, who is right next door to me, my granddaughter, my flesh and blood, my DNA, and potentially expose her to all of the other people I've been in contact with. My husband isn't going to come home from the office after seeing 50 to 100 different people and expose Brielle to whatever other people are doing out there. Yes, community spread, we talked about that. And if somebody wants to judge me because they see me going to a wedding in Colorado with an 89% vaccination rate and a wedding that was required of every single guest to be vaccinated, and we were outside at a camp at 12,000 feet, and you want to talk about hypocrisy and judging? Holy wow, get to know me. Get to know why I wear a mask. I know I have to protect myself because I'm immune suppressed. But it is so much more than that. It is about others. It is about we. It is about keeping the children that can't be vaccinated in our school system safe. And I am so sick of people saying, well, you're judging me for not wearing masks. Listen, do what you want to do. If you want to end up on a ventilator, you know what? That's your choice. But Brielle doesn't have a choice. Most of the students in our schools do not have a choice. We could not send her to the preschool that we wanted to send her to because they could not guarantee that the teachers that were teaching her were vaccinated or would even wear a mask. We operate in science. We operate in data. We operate in the fact that Elkhart County is only about 35% vaccinated. So yeah, you're talking about community spread. I understand that our chances of getting exposure is so much higher than in Colorado at a wedding outside. Ask me, talk to me, stop judging me or anybody else on this board because we choose to wear a mask or not.
I'm a real, live human being, working my butt off every single day to be healthy. And I watch other people. And yeah, could I be resentful of the people I look at not taking care of themselves when every single day, for me to be healthy, I have to do so many things? Because my body doesn't want to cooperate with my positive lifestyle, my positive mind. Give me a break. It doesn't work perfectly. If you're just a certain way, oh, then this will happen. No. Live life long enough. Get to be 65. Have your arms not be long enough because we have to wear glasses. Have a retinal membrane that doesn't want to cooperate with what my husband's skill set could do for me. When I'm begging like a little birdie, honey, let me have young eyes again. But I've got a retinal membrane that is a systemic inflammation response to my Crohn's disease, and he can't help me. Can you imagine how that had have to feel when somebody could make everybody else's eyes better, but he can't make his own wife's eyes better? There's a lot of reasons out here why people do things. There's a lot of reasons why we operate in the way we operate. And for you to break it down to some simple, well, just take vitamin D and ivermectin and whatever, then you'll be well from whatever. This is not okay, and I'm sick of it. And I'm sick of the inference, and I'm sick of the selfishness and the judgment, and yes, hypocrisy. It reminds me of listening to my Christian tapes and Zig Ziglar, beautiful, wonderful, positive thinker.
Yep, I'm getting it.
And he was at church. And he was trying to get other people to come to church. And there's just nothing but a bunch of hypocrites in there. And Zig says, come on in. There's a lot more room for more. Stop judging. Understand who people are. Understand science. Understand your sources. Yes, the sources that have been used to claim there's 300 doctors is a source that also said that the ninja recount in Arizona came up to be 50,000 votes for Trump. Really? That's not what it said. And so you need to consider your sources. When you go to see a source and you see what that person's trying to dish out, understand there's some other things attached to that. I'm not trying to attach a political thing here. I'm trying to attach the best practices that medicine has known today. And if anybody wants my husband to have the option of operating on people's gift of sight without a mask, you tell me. And I'll just call him up right now and say, honey, everybody's saying you don't need to wear a mask. Best practices in medicine don't matter. Best practices by the government. Oh, wait a minute. That's right. We're going to have a government agency that's going to come in and make sure you're wearing a mask and making sure that you're sterilizing your equipment properly. So we have a very low infection rate. If you were going to do your homework, would you go to a practice with a low infection rate or a high infection rate? I would double check that before I went and had surgery anywhere.
I have another question. Were you done with it?
I'm done.